Please welcome your Star Wars Weekend's host, a man with the freakish vocal range and 3 first names, James Arnold Taylor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you. Hey, Star Wars Weekend's pretty exciting, huh? How many people have never been to Star Wars Weekends? Raise your hands. Oh, wow, quite a few. Okay, how many of you have been here more than once? More than twice? More than 3 times? 270 times. Oh, 1 or 2? Yeah, 1 or 2. That guy. Yeah. And is it your birthday? Happy birthday. Look at that. I think he's got a birthday on there too. Wow. Okay, hey, Star Wars Weekends is the place. It is fantastic fun. Have you been seeing all the shows, seeing all the characters? Let me ask you this. Have you been doing the little hashtag? Hashtag SWW2015. You take some good pictures. You find, something that's fun that's happened to you while you've been experiencing Star Wars Weekends. You send it to hashtag SWW2015, and it may show up at the end of the show, the end of the night, the Symphony of the Stars, before the fireworks go boom, and then all the bad guys try to make me go boom. You might see your picture up there. So, okay, do it. Find it. Good moments here. We're going to give you lots of those. My name is James Arnold Taylor. I'm the host of Star Wars Weekends. Now, I'm a voice actor, so you may be going, well, I don't recognize this guy. What's he doing? Who is he? What's going on? I spend most of my time in little padded rooms talking to myself, you see. But now they let me out of the booth, and here I am. So whenever people find out that I'm a voice actor, they always have lots of questions. How do you get into it? What's exciting about it? What do you do? But the other question is always, have I heard you in anything? To which case I tell them, I've been Jedi's, a Johnny, and a Jack.
That's Captain Jackster.
A mouse, a dog, and a cat. Cannonball. A caveman, a leader, a mini-me too. In Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm Cosmo and Yondu. Now in video games, I'm Ratchet, it's true, but now it's a movie coming to theaters near you. I'm T-Rex, Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, I'm Vito, Gingy, Prince Charming, Cowabunga, there's Leo, the Legends of and a Transformer too. I voice them in games. Great fun to do. But sometimes celebrities can't provide their own voice, so I step in and give them a choice, like Christopher Lloyd, R.J. Baruchel, Andre the Giant, or Chris Walken, Cowbell, Wow, But wait, there's more, like that stuff that you hear at the end of the show when the credits are near. It's Sunday, Monday, 7:30, 6:30 Central on Fox. In closing, I'm also that voice that comes on that speaks very fast. First he's there, then he's gone. Offer expires November 30th. See store for details. Batteries not included. Registration center. Sounds like requirement. Like I see. Use only as directed. Yes, it's all a part of the crazy video that makes up the life of a voiceover Joe. I love being a voice actor. I think it's the coolest job in the world. I really do. And I hope you would join me tonight at 7 o'clock right back here for Obi-Wan and Beyond. It is my one-man show where I do about 200 different voices live and experience what it's like being a voice actor in that little padded room. So I hope you come back. Anybody seen it before? Okay, tell everybody next to you gotta come back and see the show. It's gonna be a lot of fun, okay? All right, we have a lot of fun for you right now. We have some amazing guests. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is We also have a Jedi as well, yes, okay, don't worry. Yes, we will balance it out. There is balance in the Force. We have Amy Allen here. We have Ian McDiarmid here. We also have some other folks that couldn't be here, but wanted to say hello to you. Take a look at the screens.
Sorry that we couldn't be with you here for Star Wars Weekend.
We're right in the middle of finishing the movie.
Not like in the middle. I mean, we're almost.
That's
we're
right.
Getting there.
Okay, yes, he's sort of close to me. No, you're not. Because
no, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously we can't be there with you, but we wish we could.
And have a great time, and hopefully next time at Star Wars Weekend.
And may the Force be with you.
Indeed.
Them to show up in Star Wars Weekends, wouldn't we? We'll tell them that, right? That's excellent, excellent. I think we're excited about what they're working on, though, aren't we? A little. Oh man, I'm excited about my first guest because she is so fun. We have had such a great time, and she's a Jedi, she's a Twi'lek. Well, we'll find out when she comes out. But before she does, let's take a look at the screens right here.
We will not be hostages to be party to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Allen. How are you doing, my dear?
Great.
You
Thank
look fantastic.
How are you? Thank you.
Good, you're not all blue.
Nope, not today.
That's makeup, I guess. Yeah, no, I am doing great. We're having fun.
Yeah, we are.
This is, now how many times did Star Wars Weekend have been here? Do you know? I mean, it was a while back before, right?
Yeah, I think 2008 was the last time I was here.
2008, yeah,
Done
okay.
it 3 or 4 times.
Okay, so, and this one has been the best, right?
Yes.
They've used a Jedi mind trick on you?
It has.
All right, okay, good, no, it's been fun.
It's been fun.
But, so now, when you were here before, there was something that's very different this time as opposed to the other times you were at Star Wars Weekends. What exactly is that?
Yes. I have kids now.
You have kids,
I
yes.
do.
You have, so how many do you have?
I have 2. I have twins.
You have twins? Wow, what are their names?
2. I have a little boy. His name is Luke.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a little girl. No joke. And her name is Leia.
Really? No, come on. Luke and Leia? No, you're kidding,
No,
right?
but I do really
You
have.
a little
I
boy and a
really
little
do
girl.
have twins, a little boy and a little girl.
Everybody's now, oh. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're playing a little joke, it's okay. And so you took them to Star Wars Celebration. Oh, look at it, right there.
I did.
Now that's not you in costume there. That was
That is
somebody that they encountered
Someone that they encountered.
dressed as mommy. And that
Yes.
was probably pretty weird,
It
right?
was.
That's pretty
Yes.
cool.
And then that was another little girl we met who
Wow.
came dressed as Aayla.
What do they think of this when they see, you know, I mean,
Aww.
all these characters? Was it an experience for them at Celebration?
I think that they're just sort of getting it.
Yeah.
And I think it was surreal for me. I in their minds, I think they were just sort of blown away.
People always say that, and I certainly know it's true for me. I have a 10-year-old daughter who you've met, Lydia.
Right, yes.
And once you have a child that you can introduce into this, that you enjoyed Star Wars yourself, and then you bring them in, and you get to enjoy it as they're enjoying it. And so it's a whole
It's so
world,
different.
right? Yeah, it's
It's
really
so
cool.
different, yes.
But talking about this now, and again, you pronounce Aayla Secura.
Yes, Aayla
Okay.
Secura.
Some people say, how else would you say it?
I've heard many variations.
Yeah. Twi'lek, what do you say?
I say Twi'lek.
Twi'lek. Okay, what do we say? Twi'lek, Twi'lek? Yeah, we like that. Hans? Hans? Hans. It's Hans. Isn't it Hans? Okay. But, so, now tell me about this, though. You get into this, you're working in film, but then all of a sudden one day you're getting painted blue and handed a lightsaber.
A lightsaber.
How does this all come about?
Yeah, it's wild. I started out, I graduated college in San Francisco, and I had a degree in film, and I was fortunate enough to get a job working for George Lucas for one of his companies, Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
And I was a PA on Star Wars Episode 2.
Wow.
So, yes.
Kind of exciting? I mean, you're like...
It was.
And then you go, well, this can't get any better than this.
No.
And all of a sudden...
I mean, it was a very cool place for me to sort of learn the ropes of what would be for me a longer career in production.
Right. Okay.
So-
Yeah. You've worked on many films. A lot of really big films. Can you give us a couple of those ones that we've got?
Yeah, I sort of after Star Wars. Star Wars was a sort of fluke thing that happened to me. Really cool thing that happened to me, obviously.
Yeah. Sure.
And then I sort of continued my career behind the camera. So I worked for a long time in production.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But when you did the makeup, we talked about this a little yesterday. It was about 4 hours. You said.
About 4 hours.
And you had to get all the molds and all of that stuff. So at that point, you got to be kind of pinching yourself. Were you? Because you grew up. I mean, you're younger than I am, but Star Wars has been around forever, and so to work in that now, that's got to be one of those things where you do kind of pinch yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've said this before. For me, I mean, I think I did my first Star Wars convention in 2002. So
Yeah.
it's been a long time that I've been doing
That's
this.
the part that is really the coolest thing, is when people want to have a picture with you, they want to experience it with you, and because you've experienced this part of Star Wars that they
Yes.
didn't get to.
Yes.
It's a little with you, and it's really great.
I like to say that it's like the gift that keeps on giving, because
Yes.
it's sort of it's always present, and
It is.
it's never,
It's
people
like
love
a
it.
force. It
Right.
surrounds us, it penetrates us. Yes.
And it's going to continue with this whole new.
It is. Oh yes, there's something. There is
Yes.
something. They were talking about it too.
Right.
It's another movie, right? Hey, you have had fun with us so far. We actually, yesterday we played some games. I don't know if anybody was around yesterday. We played a game, Spin the Vader TIE Fighter. We have another game. If you're game, are you game?
I'm game.
You're game. Okay, I think it's time to play. What the heck is Chewie saying? Do we? Is that what the heck is Chewie saying? Yes. Okay. Here's how it works. Because I know you understand Wookiee, right? You speak Wookiee. So maybe you can help us decipher these things. We've pulled some clips, and we're going to look at the clips, and then it's going to freeze frame, and we're going to say, okay, is he saying this, that, or the other? So
Okay.
let's watch. What's our first clip? Let's go ahead and take a look.
Well, you said it, Chewie.
Yeah. Okay, so did he say, let's see, A, this is a raw deal, B, that old man's mad, or C, I can't really, yeah. Everybody's all very serious about it.
I know,
I would say C, but no, B. Okay, B, I think she's right. Isn't she right? Yeah, she's right. You're right. Okay, you're good. You're good. Okay, okay. Do we have another one? Let's take a look. Okay, what the heck is Chewie saying? Let's see. Let's watch it.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Okay. Is Chewie saying A, you sold us out? B, Lando, how could you? Okay. Or C, I could eat. I think it's C. I said C, right? Yeah, I could eat a Wookiee. Come on. Oh, B, I'm taking it so seriously. B again? I think she's right, right? B? Yes!
Okay.
Oh, you're 2 for 2. This is fantastic. Okay. This is the last one. This is the last one. Okay, let's take a look.
Watch her.
Okay, is he saying this way? B, follow me? Or C, I think the princess was shot off her speeder by a trooper, but it's okay. She was found by an Ewok named Wicket, who took her to his home in the trees, where we'll meet back up with her after being caught in a trap set by the Ewoks who want to eat us for dinner. However, they'll see 3PO and think he's some sort of god. We'll gain their trust, and they'll help us defeat the Empire using simple tools and strategies that would be considered primitive to the Imperial forces.
Oh boy.
I think she's right, isn't she? Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, Aayla, let's hear it for her! Oh my goodness, you stay here though, you stay with us. Are you ready? We had fun yesterday with our next guest.
Yes.
You're gonna help me, and you're gonna have some fun. Oh, I'm gonna stand, because this is Star Wars royalty here, but he's not that bad of a guy if you get to know him. As the Emperor. Oh, I don't know. Do we love the Emperor? I feel the dark side present. Let's look at these screens first.
And you, young Skywalker, we will watch your career with great interest. Are you going to kill me? Execute Order 66.
Soulman will have a new operative.
Rise, my friend. You will be destroyed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ian McDiarmid! work. Oh, look at that.
I see, yes, I see they've raided my bedroom again. Which is disturbing because I can't get to sleep without the evil Lord watching over me. Greetings from the dark side. Lunch. I never make the right choice. Today it was Jedi salad. But I was attracted by the notion of the crushed Ewok dressing. Yeah, that's something you don't want to think about, an Ewok dressing.
How are you doing? And you know Amy?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh my goodness. You got your whole monologue and everything. You don't need us.
I know, I just did this.
You should have your own show, The Emperor, Evenings with the Emperor. I think that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I'd watch that.
A good Sith night out.
A good. So welcome to Star Wars Weekends, my friend. I really appreciate you coming out and taking time with us here because this is your first Star Wars Weekends.
That's right.
We're excited that you're here. This is your second day.
Yeah.
You've experienced the motorcade, all those things. Do you have a favorite thing thus far to do here at Hollywood Studios?
Well, last night, a friend and I went to see Illuminations, the great firework display.
Yes.
Full of exciting lasers and that wonderful glow. And I like the title, Illuminations, Reflections on Earth. And I thought, but it's all about light, I'm from the dark side, Don't I get a look at it? And I thought maybe there could be an alternative show called Extinguish 'em, the switch off from hell. Yeah, no, I'm serious. It could be, it's very easy to stage. They've got all that fire already, save a little money there. And you could all sit in the dark for 20 minutes and listen to John Williams' version of the Imperial March. Listen to this, and it's cheap.
Yeah, but you would have to have your voice in there.
Oh, get my voice. Oh well, subject to negotiation, of course.
What would the Emperor be saying though in the dark? Well, we sit there in the dark. What would the Emperor say to you?
He would say, "What are you doing here?" That would probably be
I think there's probably something to it. We might want to work on the name.
Yeah.
But, I think
extinguish Eon, sort of Roman, except, okay.
My goodness. Such fun. Oh, such fun. Okay, so you get this little movie, Star Wars, and Return of the Jedi, and you're a theater actor, you've been doing theater. How long, have you always worked in the theater? Like, as a child, did you work in the theater as well? When did it all come about?
Well, the first thing I saw when I was a very young kid, my uncle knew the stage manager at our local theatre, and it's a long time ago. So these were the days of variety, which is kind of like your vaudeville. And I was sitting there in the audience, not really knowing anything about what I was seeing, and I could hear music. And there were dancers on the stage, and I thought every time that their feet hit the stage, they were making the music. There's this guy in front waving something, but that didn't seem to me to connect. And I got to meet the comedian. He was a really nice guy called Tommy Morgan. I went backstage, and it's like a kid with a clown, really. Because in those days, all actors wore a lot of makeup. The footlights were such that you really needed to highlight your expression. And he had a lot of makeup around his eyes, a couple of red dots, and lipstick, and so on. And this sort of scared me and fascinated me at the same time. And I think that was the beginning of my seduction to the dark side of acting.
It was. And your fascination with the makeup as well, because you do enjoy actually doing the makeup and things. Is that common in the theater? Do you wear a lot of makeup?
No, not really, not anymore. I mean, like coming on today, we'll just get a little powder and something to keep our hair flat. And that's by and large when you're playing characters that look like yourself, what you do. But I always like it when there's a show or a movie where there's a kind of mask that you put on.
Well,
so you really feel there's something else in front of you.
Absolutely. You put on several masks, not just a literal prosthetic mask, but Palpatine and Sidious, spoiler alert, sorry, all right, Star Wars Weekends, you kind of broke some hearts there on set sometimes when people found out the truth.
Yeah, I know. And well, when the prequels came up, I'd met George years ago, obviously, and those of you who were here yesterday heard the story of the nose and how I got the part.
Yes.
Well, when the prequels were in the offing, I didn't know if I'd be involved again, but I got a call from someone who said, George is in town, he'd like to say hello, why don't you come along to this hotel at this time? So I went in and there was George wearing the same shirt as he was 30 years ago with checks. He looks good in checks. Why should he change?
Right, that's right.
And he said, what would you like to drink? I said, oh, I don't know. I'll have some water. So the water arrived. And he said, well, Ian, do you know anybody who wants to play an emperor? I said, well, funny you should say that, George. He said, I thought you'd say that. Give back the water. And that was the interview. I'm not exaggerating. Then he told me a little bit about the prequels, a little bit, a tiny bit. Nobody really got told anything. But he said that the character, obviously, that ends up as the Emperor had to have a pre-life of some kind, and those films would show that. And he would start off as a straightforward politician, if that is not a contradiction in terms. And so everyone would think that he was a reasonably nice guy who was there to help, the great Empress, the Queen, Padme. He was her right-hand man, diplomatically on hand to make sure that everything went smoothly, and then things might change. And then he told me a little bit about this other guy, which seemed to have nothing to do with me, who was really undermining everybody the whole time, and as a kind of, I don't think he used the word insidious, but a kind of character who sort of was underneath managing everything that was happening above. But he didn't say that was going to be me. So
He didn't tell you that?
No. So when I got the script, actually the first thing we shot on that film was a scene between Rey and me, Darth Sidious and Darth Maul, on the balcony looking up at the others. That was the very first scene. And of course the script arrived, a little before, not too far in advance.
Yeah.
And I saw Darth Sidious and my name, and I thought, they've got this wrong. This is so unlike Lucasfilm, because they're so detailed and everything else. And I thought, I'll get my agent phoned up so I don't have to do it. And they said, no, nobody got it wrong. That's what you're doing. And then I realized, of course, that I was a schizophrenic. And I wasn't allowed to tell anyone else. And all those scenes and Ray wasn't going to tell anybody, were shot on different days. So when we got to the premiere and Liam Neeson arrived, he said, how dare you, Ian? You didn't tell me you were that bad master. The mystery continued.
And Jake Lloyd was here a few years back for Star Wars Weekends, and he told us a story of how he loved hanging out with you on set, and everything was lovely, and then he finds out. And then he was like,
exactly. Yeah.
Just didn't
I know, it was scary. And there's a little guy who lived next door to where I lived, and he and his mum and dad are good friends. And he always says, what are you doing? This little boy was about 7.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm an actor. And he was unimpressed by that. He didn't think that was cool. Think of something else, drive a train or something much better. And then I did say, well, I'm now in the Star Wars movies. And I'm playing a bad guy, and he just refused to believe it. So I decided on the first showing, when we were all invited to the crew and so on, I'd take him along. And when I came up on screen, this is all the way back now to Return of the Jedi, he moved just as you did then. In fact, you know how seats are arranged, rather like the ones you're sitting in now. He moved 3 seats along. And then we had lunch afterwards, and he didn't speak to me. In fact, I think he's only just married in the last couple of weeks, I think.
For all this stuff. That's the fascinating thing about this part. I don't know of any other actor that has had the luxury of being able to play a character that was so, aged at the time, but you were not.
Yeah.
And then when the part comes back to you, how many years later?
I know, it was really lucky. How many was it? It was 30 years since Jedi, and all of you remember the first date of Phantom Menace. But what it meant was, I was in my 30s when I was playing 130 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And because I was 30 and 130, I could then go back to be my real age as a senator. Which then was sort of 50-ish.
But that's pretty cool.
And that was lucky. But of course, George didn't have to make that continuum. And when he cast me, he had no idea that he was going to do that kind of sequence. And he could have got various other people to play it over the ages. But I got lucky twice.
You did. We got lucky twice, I think, didn't we? I think so. Your chemistry with Hayden Christensen was so wonderful in these scenes because you're so manipulative with him, and I mean that in the right way because again, the character Palpatine. And there's one particular scene that I love to take a look at if you don't mind, because it's always fun as well for Star Wars Weekends for us to actually watch a scene with the actual performer, and it's the opera scene. So could you give us any insight before we take a look at it?
This is a scene. Originally, George was going to set this scene in one of Palpatine's offices, which used to get bigger and bigger. And they were not digitally enhanced, they were actually built. So I go into the studio the night before and see this even more enormous office than the one I was sitting in the previous night. But he said, we've done the office now, I want to shift location. And for this all-important scene where the final nail in poor Anakin's coffin is hammered, I'm going to set it in the opera. And anyway, Ian, you know, you like theatre, so you know you'll be at home. And that's when I realised there was one redeeming feature about the Emperor. That is, he liked to go to a good play. Except, of course, it wasn't a good play; it was a squid ballet. You know, but he liked the arts. But we had, I don't know how much of this you want me to go into. We had a long day before we shot that scene.
Yeah.
And the film, as I'm sure you know, took about 2 years to make. I think we were 60 days in actual production on set, and then the rest is extraordinarily complicated, dexterous work from the many hundreds of people who are involved making these films as extraordinary as they are. And this was a Friday afternoon, which is never the best day to do a big scene, but in the morning I had to fight and kill Sam Jackson. Not all on my own, with a little bit of help, but I had to do all that, on my face. And then I had to change from the Senator into the Monster, as 5 enormous wind machines were driven at me, thereby ensuring that all of the studio dust went either in my eyes, up my nose, or down my throat. So
you were feeling it.
That was all right. Get on with it. And then I knew there was this big scene scheduled at the end of the day, and by this time it was 4:30. And I thought, well, you know, George will go on Monday. We're not too far behind. And he came up to Hayden and me and said, Ian, you had a great day so far. I really want to shoot this scene now. I said, what now? He said, yeah, now let's just do it. And Hayden and I hadn't even a chance to run over the lines. We were familiar with them because we'd learnt them. We knew this was probably the day we were going to have to do it. But all of these things were against it, and I could sort of hardly speak. My voice was really sort of rough. I said, George, you know, I know you can do it later, but you know, my voice is in a very rough state. And he said, that's fantastic. That is him in transition. So we went through it. There were 20 takes. And during these takes, various mobile phones went off, most of them controlled by the producer, Rick McCallum. There was a very lively audience in the video village, you know, which is just in front of you, but I'm behind a black screen watching it, no pressure. But so then we did it 20 times. The people who really helped me, I'm sure you know this too, Amy, other guys on the 2 cameras, the guys on the camera, all the time gave me their absolute concentration and a few hints about where they were when. And but it was a rough day, and to cap it all, it was the first assistant director's birthday, and that little gold creature, who shall be nameless, was preparing the champagne in the corner. You know? So everything conspired against making this a decent scene. So when I finished, I said, well, George, I did my best, we'll be shooting it again on Monday. He said, no, we've got you. On Monday we'll be on Hayden. So this is what you see.
Oh, it is what you see. Thank you for all that information. Let's take a look.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi could tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create light. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
He could actually save people from death.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ian McDiarmid, come on.
It was a very good scene to act, and I think George said it was actually the longest dialogue scene in the movie, maybe in the saga.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We love it. We love it. Hey, you two are fun, and I want to have a little more fun with you before we end the show.
Okay.
We do a bit. Now we've done it. You and I have done this several times. It's a phony photo moment, and the thing is, see, you're taking pictures of all of us, and we're talking, and there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But we want to give you something that's a little more fun to take a picture of, and memories. And then you can hashtag it, SWW2015. So we have some props here. Now, I don't know. You know, you might owe her an apology because there's this little order that you gave.
Yeah, I know. One of the great things about doing these Star Wars trips, I get to meet so many of the people I've killed.
Well,
I make it up.
I was thinking that Amy could get her revenge, and
if you have one too.
Well, I've got one.
I don't think that's fair. Does George know about this?
Oh, all right. All right. Here you go.
Oh.
Here we go. It's not my color. You take that.
That's mine.
There you go, yes.
Oh.
All right.
You don't trust my fingers then? Very wise.
So perhaps we can stage something here where the Jedi get, well, I won't say their revenge.
Oh, I see.
But they return. Yes. So we can, here, they're retractable.
Oh, yeah.
That's like in the theater, right? You would have a retractable lamp.
I
have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, I have.
So you look as though you're about to be impaled, I guess would be.
Be impaled, okay.
Or
So are
you
we-
could actually impale. You could impale. Go ahead, be impaled.
My defenses are down.
Your defenses are down.
Okay.
Like when Vader picked you up and threw you in the thing and you
Yeah.
did
I
this. I wish you just
took a week to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So here. Oh, how does that look? Does that look like I'm actually getting him? Oh. Okay. Snap away. Ready?
Do you want to
Go.
go around?
No, you're fine.
Oh my God.
It's a phony photo moment. Take him. Snap him. Snap him. Okay, but now, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, Amy. This is so. You go ahead and you take your revenge on us.
Oh right.
Oh,
me. Oh.
Yes, go ahead. You just give us one of these now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can do. Yes.
How about just one of those? Or just both of us on both sides?
Am I dying again?
Yeah, sorry. I'll stop it. I'll stop him behind. Okay, snap away!
Yes.
Okay, now you protect me, Amy. Okay, one more this way. Okay, you come after me, Ian.
Oh yeah. Oh.
You come after me.
Yes. Okay. Can I have a 12?
Sure. Okay, you got it? Did you all get it? Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Allen and Ian McDiarmid! You're very good sports. You're very good sports. Okay. Please welcome Jedi Mickey! Hey, Mickey!
James?
Good to see you.
Hi, Maggie. How you doing?
Gosh, it's a pleasure to see you, Ian. Welcome back, Amy.
Okay, so Mickey, you've got your ears on, and that's convenient, but...
Oh. You don't have a nose?
Great nose.
Appendix?
So,
Testing? No, okay.
this is a little tradition we do. We put these on, and Mickey, would you mind helping us close the Stars of the Saga Talk Show?
Gosh, really?
Yeah.
It would be my pleasure.
Oh, good. Okay.
I like them.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
I think so.
You're looking good. We need ones that say Ian, and then the other side says Palpatine, or one says Emperor. Okay. Can we have a little music, maestro, please? Now it's time to say